Kenny here with Gardening Simplified. It's November 28th, almost been 2 weeks since we did our last garden tour, so let's take a look. It's been cold the last couple nights. One night it got to 27, and you can see what's happened to our ginger. I think it's finished its year. Onions are unaffected, which usually they are. Same thing with the celery and cilantro. It's doing good. Our potatoes that were off in here, of course they were just small, but they've definitely bit the dust. It looks like our turmeric's going to dry up now too. As you can see, our spearmint and our lemon balm are doing really good. They're unaffected with temperatures like that. Also, our catnip looks real good. Now the habaneros, then they froze these peppers. Chances there won't be any at the market this week. But a lot of things, like our onions, all our rows of onions in here, they're doing really well. Even this row over here is doing real well. We'll go back up here to the front, see if we can't zoom back out. And looks like our serranos and our jalapenos have bit the dust too. So that'll be one less thing we have to pick. Our broccoli is doing real well. It likes the cool weather. Now, this broccoli, of course, it looks like, I think maybe this little chewing here happened before I treated them here just a while back. But our Suichoy cabbage, it's doing good. Our perfection, and I have to always look to see to avoid perfection. It's starting to form heads, which is good. Our beets, now the beets seem like they might have got burnt just, well, I say not beets, the chard, this Vulcan chard or rhubarb chard. It looks like it kind of got kind of a little bit of damage from this cool weather. Of course, we know it'll recover. Our radishes are unaffected. The lacinato kale is unaffected. Our spinach is unaffected, but our tomatoes they're gone for the season now. We can take this row out because this cold spell got all of them. We've got our radicchio here. It's just now starting to form some heads in it. Our Mitchahili cabbage there and there looks good, and the cauliflower over here looks good. Our green beans, they're down for the count. We'll be taking these out, which they just about played completely out. The peas here, of course, you can't see no blooms right now because it got so cold, but they're blooming, starting to get ready to produce some peas. Well, I say you can't see blooms. You see them. They don't mind temperatures like that. Now, if it got much cooler, it would probably affect them. Our bok choy looks good, and our Hilton cabbage is looking good down here. But the weather did get pretty hard on the green beans. Let's go in this little greenhouse, see what's going on here. Now, we covered our potatoes, and it is getting kind of warm. It's about 9:30, but it's already got to 95 in here. And you can see the potatoes with just some ground cover sitting on. did fine. This greenhouse was just a little bit under 28. It was 27.8 in there. And our cauliflower and broccoli here, same thing. No problem. Nothing affects it. All these cabbage, and I'm thinking I have to remember old age getting to me. I know I got a marker here. Let's see if I can figure out what this was. Okay, this was early Jersey cabbage that's here, and it's doing good. I was fixing to plant some more seeds, but I don't think I will right now. Our carrots, they're doing fine. They're coming in there kind of thick, but we're going to leave them. These over here are kind of sparse, but we're going to leave those too. The radishes down here, and this cilantro, as you can see, some of the leaves on here, let's go over here, are turning purple. And you can see them like this one where they start getting a purple tint. And the reason for that is cold weather. A lot of times cold weather will do that, and it wasn't this cool spell, it was the one before. You can see that our thyme was unaffected. I mean our chives, and our new thyme, it's doing just great. Let's go in the big greenhouse. And in the greenhouse here, we've got us a new batch of spinach coming on. We've got our new batch of cilantro we need to put out. And this last time I said this was early Jersey cabbage, and this is actually filter kraut cabbage, which is supposed to be a good cabbage for coleslaw. I mean for kraut. Now I still haven't come in here and uncovered my plants. I'm planning to do that today. It was about 30 degrees in here last night. It was a little warmer, but and even though these just had cover on the sides and thrown over the top, you can see these survived real well. We're hoping that we can keep these tomatoes going. They've got plenty on here. They're producing well. We're just waiting for them to ripen up. Our dill is doing real well. And it is really humid in here now. Then I just opened the door. It's warming up a pretty good amount. So you can see our citrus trees. We just have our little Christmas lights in here, which we're going to turn those off because it's going to be warm for the next few days. But I was trying to get up here, and we can kind of see we've got our sage down here, we've got our rhubarb going, and then our lemongrass and a few of our early fig trees. But I want to get back to this end. You can see my protection that I put up for our banana trees, because being that bananas only produce their second year, you've got to get them through the winter if you're going to raise a crop of bananas. Now here I just grouped lights. I have some down the trunk of them, and then I run some other ones up. And last night it only got to 40 degrees in here, which is fine. So they'll continue to produce. Now we are harvesting out some of our crops over here. We have a little bit of a musclin mix, and it's doing pretty good. And then we have our parsley here. And we still have some of our bok choy, but this is a thing that happens, especially like now when I got to close up the greenhouse. They take and get hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold. And what that makes them do is go to flowering and start bolting up to do seed, which is going to be all right because the chickens will like them. Now we're over here at the eggplant, and you can see pretty much the top of these got toasted. Now, I'll know by this Friday whether these eggplants are in good enough shape to take to the market or if it bothered them. But as you know, eggplant is a warm weather crop. So we're getting to that point now that a lot of these will, they'll be coming out now. Our collards are doing pretty good. She picked the mess off of here, and we had us a good bunch of them, and then took what's left and made a soup. Now our early Jersey cabbage that's over here is heading up good. In fact, there's a few heads in here. They're nice firm heads, and there's a few that's just big enough that I can get me a batch of coleslaw, because I've been ready for some. My wife's ready for some. Down here we have our turnip greens. We did have something coming in here eating on them. We put some neem oil and spinosad out on them, so we'd get rid of that. Our watermelons, as you can see, you can tell where every watermelon is. None of these are ripe. I don't think any of these others will be. I picked one a couple days ago, and we was going to check it. I checked it today. We picked two, give one to the chickens, and figure we'd save the other one for another day. But anyway, that's not ripe, and I'm sure none of these are going to get ripened up. We'll pick the bigger ones and set them aside and cut them. If they're not good, we'll give them to the chickens. The beets are starting to form some tubers on them. They're not real big. I put a few of these in my smoothie the other day when I made up some more. This mustard is doing good. Like I say, it had some bugs, which has a few holes, but it's still great. The rutabagas are really doing good, especially down here at the bottom, the older one. She picked her about 4 the other day for a meal. These peppers down here, they're gone too. Now these peppers do feel pretty good. We'll see in a few days. We might actually have a few peppers to take to the market, but basically that's all over. So this next week or so, we're going to be doing a lot of cleaning up in the garden. We'll finish taking up where our cucumbers are. We'll go ahead and cut down the okra. It's pretty much spent, and all these other peppers here. So basically, that's what we're looking at. The Roselle hibiscus, it bit the dust the night it got down to 27. I forgot to turn my water on, and even if I did, it might not have helped it on there. But we did harvest just a little bit, so hopefully we'll get it processed up and saved. Now we do have a few radishes at the end of this row right here coming on, but that's where we're sitting. Things are getting a little rougher with the weather, but we're still doing pretty good. I can see from here on our broccoli over there, it does have some leaves. It looks like they were affected by the cold, but it should recover fine. We'll pull some of those off, and it should do okay. Like I said early videos, we're not going to go through all that process of covering everything. we've thought about it, and it's a whole lot of work. And if it happens like last year, it ain't going to do much good as far as for keeping everything safe. But anyway, you can tell me what you're growing in your garden. I know some of you that's up north, it just gets too cold to grow anything. Or what you're planning to plant. Just let me know down in the comments. And thanks for watching. If you're not a subscriber, you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, select all, give her a big thumbs up, and share this video. Enjoy that gardening experience.